as long as the money that you pay today is going to be lesser than what you're going to get in the future.
What's up? You're listening to Randomly Relatable SG,
where we talk about random things you relate to.
I think essentially what people usually say is that money is the root of all evil lah. But honestly, money can be the catalyst to happiness as well. It's not, money can't buy happiness, but it's a catalyst to happiness lah. It can help you have a better quality of life, and that equals to happiness lah, essentially.
I think money amplifies you as a person. So if you're a nasty person, it will amplify you to become a nastier person. If you're really good, then it will amplify you to a better person.
Vampire.
I think the bad people won't be able to keep the money long lah. The irresponsible people won't be able to keep the money long. Those who are good people, they can keep it longer lah, I feel lah. The responsible people lah. Yeah.
And I want to go back to the point when I think Seb says you have to put in effort and everything when you invest. Yes, that is when you stock pick and you want returns of more than 10%, right? But if you are okay with 9%, so just go and put on an Excel calculator, you save $500 a month, okay? I think $500 a month is very doable, right? If you can't find $500, go and do side hustles, right? I'm sure you definitely can find $500 per month. Okay, maybe this is too sweeping. Maybe some people are really struggling, but try your best, right? And then if you can actually compound your money at 9%. So the S&P 500 has been growing by 9% for the past, not just 1 year, not just 5 years, for the past 50 years or even 100 years, right? When I last saw it, for the past 100 years.
Wow.
Right? 9% per annum. So you just go on an Excel sheet, see what it does for you. Everyone is guaranteed a millionaire. You can save, if I'm not wrong, $500 a month. Okay, compound money at 9%. I think by 20 or 30 years, you will hit there. You'll hit that rate.
Wow.
So I don't think that being a millionaire is going to be hard as long as you can be disciplined, find that $500 a month from wherever or however you can make it happen, and just do it in a disciplined manner. In fact, there's a lot of platforms where you can do it, where you can actually, one popular platform I know is iFast. They can actually just deduct money every single month on a very consistent basis from your account, and they help you put money into S&P 500. Exactly, which is the top 500 companies, right? But if you are someone who wants, if life is so painful for you, I always feel that people are more motivated by pain.
Desperation, I feel.
Right? Or they do things for others, right? For example, they see that they are missing their kids' milestones, right? Which is what one of our grads basically, the kids graduate from kindergarten, they miss it because they have to go to work. Right? It becomes so painful that, wow, they feel like, I really have to do this. Then that is where they start realizing that, okay, I'm not happy with being free in 30 years. I want to shorten it to 15 years, 10 to 15 years, right? And I'm going to save as much money as I can, right? I'm going to earn as much as I can. And then I will be financially free earlier by actually doing stock picking, buying companies that are growing at more than 30%.
So you're that confident that your companies that you pick will grow more than 30%?
So, like I said, right?
It's insane.
So, like I said, everything is probability, right? So, can things happen along the way? Yes. Yeah. That is why we do portfolio. So, we don't. When
you say portfolio, means you diversify lah. You have more than one stock, is it?
Exactly. So, I think I wouldn't go more than 10 stocks because, if you have 20, 30, 50 stocks, you might as well go and buy the S&P 500. You're creating your own ETF, really. You're creating your own basket, really, right? But I think if you want to be a stock picker, I think keep it under 10. Because think about it. So when we buy into companies, right, it's very important to think of yourself as the business owner. That is the only way you can sleep well at night. Think about it. If today Apple stocks go down by 50%, right, but you can see people are still buying iPhones, they're still buying iPads, they're still buying iWatch. What's there to fear? The revenues will come in the next quarter, and then the stock price is going to go up when the market realizes that, right? So thinking yourself as a business owner is so important, right? And I think when you actually want to do stock picking, right, I wouldn't go more than 10 because every single quarter, right, as a business owner, you have to monitor your companies, right? Are they actually generating enough revenues?
Oh, now you are a business owner. You are because you own this.
You are legally,
you buy the stock, you own the company,
Yeah,
so it's a small percentage,
A small percentage.
So in the past, right, they used to give you a certificate, right? But now everything is digital, so you don't see anymore. That is why it's getting harder and harder for this, even for our generation, to have that ownership mindset.
They used to give you a certificate for buying a stock.
You never see last time Kim K's birthday, Kanye gave his Disney Disney stock.
I didn't see.
to
So
Kim K.
cute.
So you're a legitimate business owner of that company. So for example, if you're like a 0.1% shareholder, 0.1% of the cash in bank, for example, in Apple belongs to you.
Yeah.
Right? Just that you're not the CEO, you don't get to draw it out. Lah. Right. So coming back to my point, every quarter you have 4 reports.
Yeah.
Right. And if you want to analyze, if you have 10 companies, that's 40 reports every year. Right. 365 days, let's take 360 for easier math. Right. Divide by 40 reports. Once every 9 days, you have to read a report. I think that's very busy already. Like, can you imagine once every 9 days, you have to read,
It's crazy lah.
you have to follow your companies.
Yeah.
So personally, for me, I keep it under 5 to 8 companies. So it's easier for me to follow.
So do you invest? Do you use do you have lump sum or do you invest like monthly?
So I think at the start for beginner investors, you can actually invest whatever money you have. Okay. But I think in tranches, don't. So I always like to tell people, right? Especially I think when it comes to, it's like dating, right? For example, you guys, if we are gay and I date you, right? I'm not going to hey, you guys want to kiss first on the first date? I'm not going to hit on you real hard, right? I will dip my toes. I'll ask
Hold
you
your hand
questions to ask you.
first.
Maybe not even holding hands. I'll ask you what triggers you. I want to find out what's your hobbies and everything.
Yeah.
Before I actually say, hey, you know what, you guys, I think I really like you. Shall we go for a second date?
Yeah.
Right? And then slowly you start holding hands. You start saying, hey, are we serious? You want to go in a relationship? Same for stocks. Right?
After that, no.
Same for stocks. It's like marriage, right?
Yeah.
You go into it, right? And you want to dip your toes first. So I think the mistake most people do is that
Just
they put
jump,
in all their money in. And then the next day, the stock prices drop by maybe 5-10%. And they're like, oh, they cannot take it.
Yeah.
So you want to put something that you can afford to lose. I think for beginners, put $500 to $1,000. Right? Something where you lose, it's like, okay, it's okay. It's a learning experience. And you want to observe your own emotions. How do you feel? Do you feel greedy? Right? Why do you jump into it so fast? Why do you put more money? You want to journal down your thought process. Right? And after that, when you're more confident, then that's where you can start putting more money into it.
So do you use dollar cost averaging?
Right. So when you're a stock picker, you don't really do dollar cost averaging because now you know the valuations. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say if
What is dollar cost averaging?
Are you a stock picker?
I'm a stock picker.
Okay.
What's dollar cost averaging?
So dollar cost averaging is investing monthly lah. Regardless whether the price of the stock goes up or down, you just invest.
Okay.
Then invest long term, then you average out lah.
Okay.
So now the latest iPhone is iPhone 13, right?
Yes.
Right. So how much is the iPhone 13 just by the phone itself?
1,004 maybe?
1,005, 1,006, yeah, to the
1,006,
highest
right?
specs.
Okay, let's say 1,000. Let's make it 1,005.
Okay.
Very easy number to understand. Right. So for example, if you are someone who knows that the iPhone is worth 1,005,
Yeah.
right? So let's say if next month somehow there's iPhone hype, right? And the cost of an iPhone 13 is
Now, a word from our sponsors.
Hello? What are you doing?
I'm keeping my money.
You keeping your money in a jar under the pillows?
Then what am I supposed to do?
Hold on. This is not the wisest thing to do. If you're keeping your money in the jar, under the pillow, like Shuraim, there is a better way.
Have you heard of Fire with Im and how he can guide you to invest?
What is FIRE with IM, you may ask? Well, FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early.
And who is Im? He is the man to go to if you want to start investing but not sure where, how, or what to do.
Are you ready to grow your wealth?
Invest 60 minutes to make your next 60 months better. Click the link in the description below to invest with Imran today. And now, back to the podcast.
$10,000.
Huh?
Yeah, like that bad. Right?
Okay.
Would you guys buy it?
No, bro.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think it's worth that much.
Right?
Yeah.
Because now suddenly you know that the iPhone is worth 1,005, right?
It was 1,005, yeah.
Exactly. So this is what we do for stock picking. Okay. Because we know the value of the company, it doesn't make sense for me to buy it when, for example, it's like me trying to buy iPhone when it's like $10,000. It doesn't make sense because I know the value is 1,005.
Yeah.
And I wait for the stock prices to come down to the valuation and then that's where I'll buy.
Oh.
So that's the difference between a stock picker and someone
It's
who,
very
who
interesting
don't have
because
knowledge.
it's the first time I heard a stock picker but invest long term. It's kind of weird to me.
Really? It's very common, in the market that people pick stocks and they want to hold it forever. This is what.
Then how do you time? Like, how do you time it to okay, I want now lah.
Okay, so let me give an example, right? So,
Like before you continue, because
Yeah, go
in my
ahead.
head, right, you do the research already.
yeah.
The research normally how long?
So at the start, it'll be a week. Then after that, everything, once you know the company already, you just need to every quarter spend a day and just monitor the company.
So you do the research so long already. Then like at that week, then the price will go up and down.
Correct.
So like you don't know when's the perfect time. After research, maybe it's not even.
That's why
correct.
he researched and then find the value of the company that he believes is he tries to find what he believes is the value of the company. Then you only buy the stock when it touches about your valuation for
valuation,
the company, right?
So I think the concept here is to say that valuation is not an exact number. Like, no one can tell you that Apple is worth $233.33 point, don't know what, right?
Yeah.
It's impossible. Valuation is a range. Just like, for example, if I tell you someone is maybe 1.5 meters tall,
Okay.
and I tell you that this person is maybe 60 kilograms, can you tell me roughly, is this person overweight or underweight?
It's overweight.
Hard to tell lah.
Okay, let's do a more extreme example. 100 kilograms,
Okay.
1.5 meters. Is this person
Overweight lah.
Overweight lah.
Overweight lah, bro.
overweight, right? So you don't need so in a way, right? Even without this person going onto the weighing scale, right? You just look at this person's body.
Mm-hmm.
Not body shaming here, right? I'm just giving an analogy. If this person has a belly, then you can roughly know this person is overweight, right?
Yeah.
But you don't need the person to step on a weighing scale to say like, hey, this person is exactly 100 kg, 100.56 kg to know that this person is overweight.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept in investing, right? So it's kind of like, I think in Malay you always say agak-agak, right?
Yeah, agak-agak.
Reminds me of like, Gordon Ramsay, want to learn from
Yeah,
this
the-
Malay
the-
auntie,
the-
right?
the
Yeah.
young one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Then the auntie was like, agak-agak lah, just put in, you'll
Yeah.
be good. So it's the same concept as investing, right? So valuation is a range. So for example, Apple can be worth $200 to $250. And anywhere, when it hits between 200 to 250, just buy.
Mm.
Right? And you hold it for long term,
Yeah.
eventually it will go up. So that's the whole concept.
Valuation is also kind of perspective based, right? Like you might have a different valuation of the company than I do. Because I believe in the product more than you, maybe.
It is in a way, okay, let me give you an example of valuation, right? So for example, let's say if we have a chicken rice store, okay, that is earning $10,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay, and let's say if someone wants to sell with this chicken rice store, okay, and you say, I'm going to give you all the recipe, all the employees are going to stay, so you just come in, take over the business, everything is going to run properly. How much are you guys going to be willing to pay for this chicken rice store that earns $10,000 a year?
$10,000 a year.
Yeah,
That's that's 120K
A year.
evaluation, right?
A year, right?
A year.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
a year. So I'm saying, right, if someone wants to sell you a business that earns 10K a year, how much are you willing to pay for it? So maybe we start from you guys.
I don't know.
Then
Just
you go Shuraim, then
30
Sabrina.
or I don't know.
30K, okay.
I don't even know why, but just to me, 30
Okay, don't explain first, right? Then we can talk about it.
50K.
Okay, 50K?
Yeah.
Same, 50.
50K. Okay, so maybe you want to explain, you guys, like why the figure 30K?
I got no idea, man.
No idea.
No idea.
But
Well,
there's-
I can make the money back. 3 months, chill.
it's 10K per year.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I can make the money in 3 years. Lah.
Okay.
To me, I can accept that. Okay, lah.
Okay. What about you? Right.
50K because like once I know the recipes and everything, and once I know, like I give value to the recipes lah, and like knowing that it can already make 10K a year, I feel as a business owner I can expand and make it better lah, so I can earn more than 10K even.
Right.
Yeah.
What about
Same.
you? Yeah.
It's the same answer.
So it's the same when you look at a small business that's not listed in the stock exchange. How we look at this private businesses is the same how we look at publicly listed companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? They'll report how much they earn a year. And from there, you can actually think of it, right? So all of you are talking about when you break even, which is really great.
Yeah.
Right? No one actually, so you think about it, right? So actually, if you ask this question to almost anyone, even someone who's not an investor, most of the people will tell you maybe 30 to 50K, right? Because like they say, okay, I take about 3 years to break even, or maybe if I spend to 5 stores,
Yeah.
maybe under a year I can break even
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
right? So we actually think of it in this way when we buy into publicly listed companies, right? So if a company is earning, let's say, so it's the same example. So if a company is earning like, let's say 20K a year, right? So there's this number of years to break even that the market is willing to wait, right? For paying up for that company.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally for growth companies, people are willing to wait about 20 years to break even,
Oh, okay.
right? So this is something that is public consensus. You can look at the historical matrix and see how long people are willing to wait for it to break even. So it's very scientific. You realize it's all based on the earnings of the company.
But you have to. There's so much other things to like look at, right?
So on a high level perspective, right, it's very simple in a way. As long as the money that you pay today is going to be lesser than what you're going to get in the future, right? So as long as the future cash flows, as long as the future cash flows that come in from this business that you buy is going to be more than how much you pay for it today, then it's a good to go. And there's a mathematical way to actually calculate this, which will confuse everyone if I go talk on the podcast now. It's almost impossible.
Honestly, it's been very technical for the past 20 minutes, bro.
But is it easy to understand? It's very logical, right? It's actually a very logical approach.
I think the last thing I actually want to ask you is that do you think investing will be the new normal? That's your goal, right? That you want every household to have one investor. Do you want it to be mainstream, and do you think it'll be the new normal thing?
And how long do you think it'll take before it get to that